That was a very, very, very long-winded, route, but basically saying, like, each stop kinda led to the next stop, right? Because like, I had people say at different times, like, "Oh, you'll never cover hard news." And then it was like, "You're doing that." And then it was like, "Well, you'll never get back to sports." And it's like, "Watch me." So, like,
Yeah, right.
I love to, like, keep my hands in a lot because I think it keeps you versatile. Um
Well, people love to doubt. People
Ah,
love to doubt. I
God,
don't know
don't
why,
they? I
but
don't either.
because I came up doing music, and it was always like, "Oh, you can't do this," then I go do it. "Oh, yeah, no, you
Mhm.
can't do that." Well, I will go and do that too. So like you're saying, set a goal, then hit it. Set another goal, hit that, and just keep moving.
And you know what I think it is? I think it's that a lot of people are scared. I think it's that there are risks when you take chances, and, like, a lot of people aren't willing to take on those risks. They'd rather kind of just, like, ride this, and so they're kinda mad at you that you're, like, okay to take the risk, even though, like, it's hard. It was really hard to move to a whole new country and not know
Yeah.
anyone and not speak the language and, like, a million other things, but, like, was it a really cool thing that I did? Like, did I miss out on anything back at the other job? No. But I think that's where it comes from. Like, I don't think we innately, like, want bad for someone else. We just, like, we're a little jealous. I think we're a little jealous that they wanna take chances, and we know it's not easy, so, yeah.
So I know, like, the industry that you're in is there's probably, like Brian mentioned, there's probably like a lot of doubters. So how did you not let that affect you and still shoot your shot? And how did you,
Yeah.
ultimately stick with it to get the job?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not doing on camera stuff right now, but especially when I was doing that, and hopefully I'll do more in the future, like, people will always tell you, like, you know, "Oh, that's your voice, that's what your hair looks like, that's what you're wearing." Like, I would have never been able to wear this, that's why I was like, "I'm wearing this." Like, everyone is gonna say something about you, and I think at the end of the day, like, you have to have really tough skin. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna have really hard days and doubt yourself sometimes, but I think also you have to, like, believe in your skills and
Yeah.
also what you want. And, like, I've worked really, really hard. So, like, which everyone has, right? Like, no one gets to any of these
Well,
places, like, being like, "This was easy." But, like,
a lot of those doubters though, that's their
right.
situation. They're
Like,
fine with the 9 to 5. Let me
mhm.
clock out, let me go do X, Y, and Z, let me watch this over the
Yeah,
weekend. And they're never really, like you said, they're never really like taking that shot,
right.
going for that long-term goal or that like my sister when she was younger, she moved out at 18 to Manhattan. We grew up in Connecticut. And then she moved out to LA there for a couple of years. Okay, got tired of that. Moved down to Mexico. Um, so I've seen the extreme with my sister,
Yeah,
and then I've
yeah,
seen the other side of it with some people I grew up with who they never left their hometown. They never
yeah.
will. And I think there's a lot of fear there, like you're saying.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing to want it, and then the other part is putting in the work. So, like, at least 3 out of my 5 years, like, I paid out of pocket for, like, a talent, like like, mix of, like, voice, storytelling, appearance coach that I met with, like, a few days a week, and, like, in case anyone doesn't know, like, local news people make absolutely no money, so, like, it was like a hardship to take on, but it was, like, something I really wanted, and it was also having to say, "You don't know everything. You you can improve. You want to improve. How do you do it?" And then I think it was like, up through last year, I took Spanish lessons for, like, 3 years, multiple times a week with a professor in Colombia,
Oh wow.
because I knew that it would make me a better reporter. I was reporting on the streets of the Bronx. I was encountering people where I couldn't communicate with them about what had happened to them. And I knew that it would not only make me a better reporter, but maybe in the future, it would also make me more marketable. But also,
Right.
how cool to have like another skill. Like like instead of just saying like, yeah, like I not to say this about you guys, but I started another podcast or I started another like whatever a blog, like I picked up this language or whatever it is. So I'm always kind of working on myself in that way. Like I audited I went to Columbia undergrad and then I went back to Columbia journalism school and I audited a class in the graduate school this past semester in like a nonprofit media marketing, like just because like I feel like the mantra should be like always be learning. Like it's like if
Yeah.
I'm not learning, like there's a problem. And even if just the learning is from other people in the room or people that I
Yeah.
met, or even if it's not like directly impacting my work. Um, but no, like I think it's like, yeah, it's not really taking chances, but like you said, it's working, it's like doing the work. So it's nice when the work actually pays off, but then you
Sure.
start to get worried, like, what more do I need to do to get to the next place? Like I'm already kind
Next
of there.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So if you guys ever need me to stop talking, you should just tell me.
So yeah, it really seems like the industry, the multimedia industry. There's a lot of parallels with the tech industry, like you mentioned. You always have to learn new skills. It's not necessarily the most stable. Like you might have a contract here, lasts a year, now you're somewhere else. So like, how do you remain like sane? Because this puts a lot of mental pressure on you from bouncing from job to job to job, and like this one skill set that you develop that's not necessarily going to carry you for the next 10 years, so you're always having to learn. Like how do you keep your wits about you and not get
Yeah.
depressed?
No, it's a great question. I mean, I think I would lose my wits if I had to stay in the same role. Um, so for me, like I actually think I finally picked the perfect industry because like I like change, I like moving, I like developing, and but don't get me wrong, like we all have moments where it's very hard to find the next thing, and will you ever find the next thing? And I don't know. I the way that I guess always kind of am able to maintain like a sensibility about it is part of the learning.